same time. And now, in a moment, it should show up.
Okay.
Connect streaming software to go live. It says excellent connection. It says...
Oh, here we go.
We have it.
All right.
I think we are live. I think we are. Oh, that's so cool. All right.
Okay, so this is our first little experiment with the YouTube live stream.
All right. Yes, indeed. Oh my God, wait a minute. There was a... Ah, okay. Okay, very cool. Very cool. I got my automated alert. So this is interesting. So on the technical side of things, I can make the Discord bot send a go live message, but if it's via YouTube, the public one doesn't notify the Discord server. This is so interesting. Anyway, this is so incredibly interesting. Hello. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. Good evening, party people. Oh my God, and welcome back to the Bar with an X. We have your two bartenders here this evening. I am Cameron, and this is Imichow, who's popped by for a little bit of a spell, this surprise, this wonderful Friday evening. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How about you, Cameron?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. For the context, I don't think there's anybody out there right now, but that is okay. This is a test stream for YouTube. I currently have, I just noticed, I have my Twitch dashboard up here because we usually stream on Twitch, but we're not doing that right now. We're just playing around with things. This is a total test stream. I've never done this on YouTube before, but evidently we have it working, and that's great. And everything seems to be functioning okay. We have the cocktail angle is functioning. That's good. I can't see chat over here. I can't type in chat here, but I can apparently tap chat. No, I can't type in chat. That's fine. We don't need to. In any case, so we're just kind of testing things out over here. What are we doing?
All right. So anyone who's seen the Bar with an X stream on Twitch may recall that I appeared here on the Bar with an X during springy cocktails.
Indeed, I think we were doing...
Oh yeah, fizzes and flips.
Fizzes and flips. That we were putting eggs in cocktails and whatnot.
All right.
In some good ways, and in also some weird ways too. In the best ways.
Yes. I had brought over Sophia's lemon liqueur, Limoncello, mistaking it for Limoncello. And Cameron has since procured a bottle of Pellini Limoncello.
So it's interesting, right? Because when you brought the limoncello, what we were intending to be limoncello over, I was totally under the impression that this is limoncello. And I mean, for the most part, so as I'll show up on the little angle over here, is that this bottle is not labeled limoncello, it is lemoncello, which is interesting. It's not limoncello. Now, here on the YouTubes, we had a video that went up, and somebody was recollecting a story of limoncello in Rome, and I bought the brand that was recommended. This is this Pellini brand here, which I don't remember who it was who suggested it, but I was very happy to receive the recommendation. And it got me thinking that one bottle says Limoncello with an I, and one does not. And I was like, I wonder if that's because, like, because I know here in America, you can't call something bourbon unless it follows certain laws to bourbon, and I know over in France, you can't call something champagne unless it's specific to certain laws that are out there. And I wondered if limoncello is also something like that. And it doesn't look like it is. I tried to do a little cursory research on like Wikipedia and stuff, and I couldn't find anything pertaining to that. And
so you had a page pulled up or something.
Yeah, I had like YouTube, or not YouTube, sorry, it was Wikipedia. And evidently, I guess we'll go through the little history of limoncello. Limoncello is evidently made from the zest of lemons and has a slightly turbid appearance. It's kind of cloudy and stuff, which originates from the presence of small essential oil droplets suspended in the drink itself. Kind of like we were doing some experimentations before with different nutty flavored liqueurs. There was a pecan, there was hazelnut, there was peanut butter whiskey, because peanut butter is a legume, technically a peanut, you know. And there was also, we had amaretto as well. So almond as well. And it was interesting, we had a concoction that had suspended particles in it, so I wonder if this is a similar process to that. But I was trying to see whether or not limoncello is like a controlled term in Italy, where you can't call it limoncello unless it provides for certain laws. Evidently, the production process is that it's made from zest of the Feminello St. Teresa lemons, or the Sorrento or Sfusado lemons. I put my fingers up. I'm Italian. I can do that. Not really. It's steeped in a rectified spirit until the oil is released. The resulting yellow liquid is mixed with simple syrup, varying the sugar to water ratio, and the temperature affects the clarity, viscosity, and flavor. As a slightly turbid appearance, drains for the presence of a small, approximately 100 nanometers essential oil droplets suspended in the drink.
And breathe.
Opaque limoncellos are the result of spontaneous emulsification, otherwise known as the oiso effect of the sugar syrup and extracted lemon oils. That is so interesting. You know how I was telling you about the dilution effect that happens with absinthe? And I was also mentioning I bought some oiso the other day, and evidently that's something that's happening here, although I don't really think that is the case. But I picked up a random bottle of oiso too. This is very anisey, very fennel-y. Kind of like the liqueurs that we were trying earlier. For further context, when Imi Chow popped by, she brought these 2 bottles of spirits as well. Totally unrelated to the... it's not technically unrelated to the limoncello stuff. We have this one bottle over here, which is a ready-to-made cocktail. Vodka with lavender and lemon. It's a lavender martini. And it's got notes of lemonade and lavender to it. And then also this bottle of... This was blackberry, lavender, and lemonade. Which, that one kind of tasted pretty interesting, I'd say.
Yeah, when I was given the suggestion by the vendor, they said they were good with either sparkling water or with lemonade.
And it's interesting too, because I noticed too from like my kind of adventures in exploring the oiso and other anise flavored liqueurs that evidently in certain parts of the world they like to enjoy those flavors with lemonade. So the fact that this blackberry lemonade kind of tasted a little fennel-y was not super surprising, at least from this most recent piece of information that I had come across. And then I guess technically it's also kind of quasi-related, because if these are both lemon stuff, then maybe it would go well with one of these limoncellos here. I mean, the reason why we even got into behind the camera to begin with was because
we wanted to compare and contrast.
Indeed.
The aspects of limoncello versus limoncello.
Indeed. And it's interesting because, so this is the bottle on your left-hand side is the one that Imi Chow had brought originally, and we used that for, I think it was the Dylan Collins, I think was the drink that we made with it, which is very tasty. It's a flip that specifically uses limoncello, or, you know, whatever cello-esque yellow beverage we have access to, which, to be fair, it's yellow, it looks particulate, it's slightly opaque. I get that. So that's the one we're familiar with already. And then there's this Polini recommendation, which I managed to find at the liquor store, so I figured I'd give it a try and see it. So we'll try both of them as a means to kind of like explore just a little bit to see what we got there.
So this is our...
I'll pop the cocktail angle over here so we can get a view of a kind of which... Oh dear, hello there. What the color of each one of these guys are.
So control number 5?
There we go.
Okay.
Or this way.
One in each?
Yeah.
Alright. So this does look pretty cloudy.
Mm-hmm. And this was Sophia's Limoncello. As opposed to, we'll have in the other one, Polini Limoncello. And while Imi Chow's pouring that one...
Oh, this one has a cork.
Ooh!
That's how you know it's fancy.
The back of the Sophia's lemon liqueur limoncello says, our lemon liqueur is an infusion in alcohol from the best Italian lemon skins. The bouquet is fine and elegant with well-pronounced fruit taste, well-structured, pleasant, and harmonious. Limoncello Sophia's liqueur is wonderful, with 2 L's, if served chilled, as an after-dinner drink, served as a long drink on ice, or just sprinkled over dessert.
Meanwhile, Polini says this refreshing lemon liqueur is crafted from an authentic family recipe created more than 100 years ago by the Polini family.
Oh, go Polini!
Polini Limoncello is made with Italy's finest Sfusato
I think it's Sfusato, maybe.
Yeah, I'm totally butchering that. I'm pretty sure my Italian Nona is turning in her grave. Sfusato Amalfitano lemons, carefully hand-picked for optimal freshness and flavor.
Nice. I'm hyper-fixating on the stream screen that I see here, because I just noticed usually...
So, automatically, I'm seeing a little bit of a difference. The Polini is a little more cloudy.
Yeah, and it's kind of lighter in color. This is definitely more opaque, though, and I think that's probably why it's lending itself to that different color combo there. Ooh.
I don't know if freshness at all affects it, but I doubt it.
I'm not so sure. Actually, I'll switch in a moment I'll switch the cocktailing over here. I'll admit, this is a little bit of a test for us, too. I just noticed that usually... when we switch angles, we'll have our little images up on the top corner, but I don't actually see them. I think that's kind of interesting. Let me take a look and see if that's something that I can kind of snuff out real quick. I see the mobile close-up here, which I see. Don't see that. Yeah, it looks like one of my sources is missing. Is it this guy? It's not that guy. All right, well, that's something I will investigate. This is the first YouTube stream, so that's just how it is. I'll switch back to the other angle. I will put this back on its normal screen. Over here. There we go. All right, so we have our two limoncellos. Limoncello, limoncello.
Lemon liqueurs.
Indeed. I think, let's try the one we're used to first, and then we can kind of see the difference between them. Very, very lemony, naturally. It's not as zesty as like a freshly zested lemon, although it is slightly zesty.
On the one screen, the mocktail thumbnail.
And the background on my computer is from a different stream that I did with our buddy Lycos Lore. It's very sweet. It is lemonade-y, but certainly more zesty. Actually, it's a lot more zest on the flavor, more so than the smell. But it's also very sweet. And I get that. It is definitely like, you could tell me that that is a liqueur, and I would believe you. I mean, the limoncello is also a liqueur, too, so they're both going to be sweet. At least I imagine so.
I felt that one.
Right? It's got a little bit of a burn in the back.
It's like taking a cough drop or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But like a good cough
actually,
drop.
I feel like there's a piece of the Sophia's limoncello that almost reminds you of like a lemon cough drop that I've had. Maybe not recently, but there's a piece of it that's almost menthol-y, or like it just kind of it's an air that clears the sinuses a little bit, almost like citronella has that sort of airy smell to it, and this feels almost citronella-y in the sense that it is, you know, it's got a lemonness to it. It's also sweet, but it's airy as opposed to being a little more fuller, I suppose. And so compared to, I guess, we would compare that to, like, I guess the limoncello in this case, I suppose. Would you like to do the honors?
Sure. Definitely a little more tart to smell. Is it possible for it to smell tart?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, all of our smelly smells and our tasty tastes are related in some ways. I've had experiences where, like, I feel like I've definitely had something before that smelled and tasted like lemon pledge, despite the fact that I've never put it in my mouth.
Yeah, it tastes more lemon-y.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. This was the limoncello, as it is labeled. Ooh.
You okay?
I got spooked by somebody I follow going live on Twitch. That is interesting. It is also zesty in a similar way. I think those are like, they're very similar in taste. But if I had to describe the difference between these two, like, this one is more of a warm taste, and this one is a colder taste, or cooler taste. And I don't know if that makes sense. There's probably other means to describe it, but that's like the initial impression that I'm getting. One tastes a little more thick than the other, and I wonder, maybe it's like the difference in alcohol? Because this one, the Sophia's limoncello, is 30%, so it's 60 proof, and then the Pellini, this one, is...
It's 26%, so 52 proof.
So it's less... The limoncello itself is less alcoholic, or less ABV than the limoncello liqueur. Now, it's interesting, too, because you would think that one of the reasons that I had thought that maybe the limoncello is not specifically limoncello, I thought maybe there was like a controlled set of laws and stuff out there, is because both are from Italy. One is, I don't exactly know where it's from specifically, but it says Italy, and it imported by New York. But this one over here says it's from Sicily. So they're both in the same country, so if there's laws pertaining to, I guess, what you can or cannot call limoncello over there, then maybe that had something to do with it. I can't seem to find any record on that, so that's just me like attempting to connect dots where the dots may not necessarily be present there. But I'm glad to give it a try anyways. And interestingly enough, I am sort of getting that note of, like that sort of like fennel-y note, but very, very slightly from the Pellini and not from the limoncello. Or not from the Sophia's. For the limoncello. Well, I'm totally getting mixed up. The Pellini, I'm getting a slight, just a very, very slight.
Keep in mind, Pellini paler.
Pellini is paler. That's true. And then Sophia is
more solid.
Solid. Like that. That's a good analogy. Yeah, that's not too bad. I think usually what we'd wind up doing is we'd probably mix a cocktail with these. Let me see. I don't have any. Before you think about the Dylan Collins, I don't think I have any egg whites up here that I can use.
To be honest, I'm not really in egg mood at the time. I had how many things of egg fried rice?
Oh, we ate a lot of rice earlier.
We ate a lot of egg fried rice earlier.
I have.
Thank you to Anna Banami, my momena.
Banana, nana, fofana, B5, banana. She's a banana. She's actually just a banana. I'm dating a banana. We'll be married to a banana. It's actually incredible. Wow, that's a lot. So, of the cocktails that I have, at least in my recipe book that utilize limoncello, one is the tangy limoncello cocktail. That's literally what it's called. And it uses limoncello, silver rum, which...
Do you have that?
I have rum. I have white rum. I don't know how that's different from silver rum. I've never heard that term before. And then we use lemon juice.
I think it's how long it's like distilled or processed or something.
Interesting. We can make that. We can totally do that. We could do a tangy limoncello cocktail because I got some spare. I don't have fresh lemons or anything, but I do have some lemon juice that we can cheat with in the refrigerator. Lemon slices and fresh mint. I don't have mint, but this will be a very, very quick try to use both of these.
It just says that fresh squeeze tastes best. It's not saying it's required.
Exactly. So I think what I'll do is I'll grab a shaker from over here. You can get there should be a little lemon juice container, and then there's a little bit of Bacardi rum that we can use. A little bit, I say. It's a giant ass bottle. Go down here to grab our reagents.
Found the lemon.
Found the rum. Let's do some shakeage.
Oh, right.
There we go. Ooh, we might need a little bit of ice too. A big old chunk of cube in here.
I thought the cube was last.
We can, so what we're doing, if we have egg or egg white, we'll usually dry shake it first and then wet shake it afterwards. We'll add the ice afterwards to emulsify the egg white a little bit. You don't necessarily need to do that with other cocktails. It depends on the make of the cocktail. But as it says here, just what the instructions say here, we add ice to the shaker and we'll shake it for about 10 seconds according to thechunkychef.com. The tangy limoncello cocktail.
Alright, so we're going to prepare this one with Sophia's, one with Pellini.
Indeed. So the recipe calls for 2 ounces or about 59 milliliters of our limoncello. I don't exactly know how much we have here, so I'll grab one of our measuring jiggers and just kind of see how much we poured out. This is the Sophia's. We need some more limoncello.
Yeah.
Excellent. So I'll grab one of these ice cubes, and honestly, I'll try cracking this. I've been trying to do better at cracking of ice. So I'm gonna try.
You'll probably do better than I did.
Let's give it a shot.
If anyone wants to see my disaster, go to the spicy stream on Twitch.
I love how, it's fun reflecting on this. The entire mixological journey has been categorized through these streams, and I think that's so awesome. And honestly, we might as well, as we're making 2 of these, we'll just make 2 at the same time. There we go. So we'll put 1 in one and 1 in the other. There's definitely a better way to organize these.
Oh wow, this is definitely busy.
Oh yeah. Always get busy behind the bar.
Okay. I don't know about that, Jerry.
Oh my god. There we go, that went perfectly. Maybe the technique is finally working. But I guess we can we'll have your stuff here, your stuff here. Would you mind handing me the Sophia's?
Okay.
Thank you so much.
I thought you already put the Sophia's.
I did, but I want to kind of make it easier for association.
Ah, okay.
Right back there. Great. So I've added my limoncello or limoncello substitute so far. We'll add.
Yeah, the Sophia's doesn't make the fun noise as you're pouring it into the thingamajigger.
No, it's because this thing has a giant ass. It's got such a tall little stem to it. And then what we'll need is a single ounce or about 30 milliliters of. It says here silver rum. This is white. And when I think of, as opposed to it being gold rum, I would think this would be a silver rum. So that's what I would think. I'll give myself 1 ounce, these guys. Then I will hand that bottle to you. So you can apply your ounce as well. And then we'll need lemon juice. We add lemon juice last. And I think, yeah, we're both using the imperial units. And next we'll add a single ounce of lemon juice. So we've got 2 ounces, or about 59 milliliters of our limoncello in there. We have 1 ounce of our rum in there. This bottle is not open yet. The rum will go right down there, in between all the other rums. It's a big old beefy one. If there's any trouble, we can just kind of put it on the ground and take care of it later. All good. You're totally good. In the meantime, with these technical difficulties, I've opened up the lemon juice. Single ounce of totally freshly squeezed. You know, it's freshly squeezed because I squeezed it fresh from a container. There you go. You take your lemon juice. That is a very opaque lemon juice. I just noticed that. Wow, as it was coming out there, it looks very much like the limoncello. Oh, I just noticed. I could have music playing. I totally did not prepare. Let me put the musica on. But that doesn't seem to be mapped to my. With these new
just gonna
settings.
hit me at like 1 a.m. The perfect song to use for the. Ah, I forgot to use the Fellini in the thing.
What's up?
I forgot to pour this in the.
Oh, that's okay. We just got a little bit extra. Interestingly enough, I have the music playing, but I don't see it popping up. All right, that's something to note too. Actually, in the meantime, what I'll do is I'm gonna take a couple of notes on how this original stream has been going. So notes for notes.
Lemon juice. That's it?
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Check Spotify sound. I want to see if the chat box worked. Oh, well, there's no chat bot because we're not on Twitch. That makes sense. Chat bot question mark? And then, what was the other thing? Oh, I was missing the small angle after switch. ETRL plus num. Technical details over. I'll do something completely different now. Okay, so now that we've added everything together, let's pop these things off, pop them off, just give them a little shake here. And in the meantime, I'll grab us out some cocktail glasses.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're good. Go for it. Blend that sucker for at least 10 seconds.
No, I want to wait for you.
Thank you. Very cordial. And I don't just mean the glasses either. There we go. All right, cool. Shall we?
Let's.
All right. I've been practicing this in the shower with my shaving cream. This is literally, there's this very interesting image of me in the shower shaving my face, and it's me doing this with the Barbasol can.
I'm not very coordinated, so...
I've been doing it for like weeks now. I think that's as much as I need. That is that's the way to blend a cocktail, evidently. Let me pour the cocktail angle over here so we can get a good view of these guys. I think I gave you the harder one to take off.
Of course. Because we need the more authentic experience. Got it.
Let me take this measuring jigger out of the way. Yeah, these ones get really cold. Shall we?
Okay.
We'll pour these out.
Wait, shouldn't we have the... Oh, they are even now. Okay.
Oh, yes.
I forgot. The cocktail angle works on a different...
So, I think it looks like we want to strain... Actually, it says nothing about... It just says serve. It says... Add a few cubes of ice to a small glass. We like to use coupe glasses. And add a lemon slice. I don't have a lemon slice. But we have this. It says nothing about straining, so I'm not going to bother straining. See, it's also funny because this is the recipe they gave us and specifically said to use a coupe glass, and it covers more than a coupe glass. I bet it probably did need to be strained.
It probably said serve 2, didn't it?
That's so funny. It says it serves 1. Hold on a second. This is us making things up as we go along. So I'm gonna pour this back into my shaker, and now I'm gonna strain it and see if that makes a difference. I'm gonna very shoddily strain it. How much liquid do we have? There's still definitely more than that in there. This is what we get for cooking by the book.
I just got that song out of my head.
You gotta do the cooking by the book. Something, something words. Gotta be the pretty cake. You know you can't be lazy. That's how that goes. Oh my goodness. Alright, sweet. So we have a very full up cocktail. And this is what it looks like. This is the part where I take a picture of it. I'm getting it's not like my usual thing, so I'm trying to, my usual automatic habits are not as inclined.
Should we put them more even with the, okay, hold on.
Oh, and it's so sad because we don't have the chat bot. I can't take a photo of this using the photo command. Oh my goodness, that is okay. All right. So we can see a little bit of a difference between the one with Sophia's and the one with Pellini. Previously, we were noticing that the Pellini had a bit more of a cloudiness to it, and honestly, compared to, these colors look almost exactly the same, especially on the capture, which is very interesting. So there's not a lot of color imparted by the lemon juice, and even by shaking it up and adding a bit more aeration to it, it doesn't change it super duper much. Interestingly enough, I'll also note that on the top of both of these guys, there is a very clear kind of foam appearing up on top of, let me see, on top of the Sophia's one, as opposed to this one. I don't think the light is super prep for that. Let me try something. Alexa, turn off the side lights. See if it makes it easier. That's a little bit easier to see the difference between this one over here and this one over here. Actually, can you do me a favor and shut off the main lights? That's that switch on the wall. I think that might be interrupting this little contrasting that we're doing here. Let me see if that makes a difference. Yeah, sort of. That sort of makes a difference. Let me test this even further.
Oh, yep, there we go.
Alexa, turn off the top light.
Okay.
Wow, okay, that's very clear now. Ooh, I gotta try that going forward for different lighting setups. That's cool. Anyways, there's also a little bit of daylight out, so that's probably affecting things a little bit. But this is, like, no, there's, like, no, like, I don't know what the word is. Bubbliness? Bubbliness, perhaps? Over here? Carbonation? Carbonation, aeration, bubblation? Anyways. Alexa, turn on the bar lights.
Okay.
Thank you, dear.
Ow.
Appreciate that. Yeah, it's a little, this guy gets in the way. Get that guy out of here. So we have two iterations of tangy limoncello cocktail. This is our Sophia's. This is our Pellini. After you, go ahead.
All right, so we're gonna try the ones we made first, and then we're gonna try ones our associate made.
Very lemon smelling. Oh, that's so pleasant. That's very pleasant. It is very lemon. It is like a light lemon. There's like enough sweetness from the limoncello to like completely balance out the lemon juice there, and I love that. That's very tasty. What do you think of yours?
I mean, I was picking up like more like the bitter notes of the lemon juice itself, which granted I do like and appreciate.
Yeah, I would say that there's not too much bitterness here. This is very sweet. It's honestly, for the fact that we have lemon juice in there, it's really not that sour. It's tart, ever so slightly tart, but more like tart, like a raspberry is tart, but it can be sour, like a blueberry can be tart, but it's usually not sour. It's got that slight tartness to it, but it's mostly sweet. And I think it's because I have a strange feeling, despite the fact that this one here is more alcoholic than this one, I think this one has more sugar in it, more sweetener. But now I'm curious about how they taste in the reverse direction, and I'll try yours with the Pellini, and you can try mine with the Sophia's.
Salud.
Salud. I see what you mean there.
Yeah, that one's definitely sweeter.
Yeah, I would also say that, interestingly enough, even when we were tasting these individually, this has a little bit of that fennelly note to it, and I get that. It's actually super pleasant. Like, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier because we've been talking about this for a while now, so I don't know if I mentioned it while the camera was rolling or not, but I bought these bottles of Ouzo or Yuzo. I don't remember what it's called. It's a Greek liqueur.
Ouzo?
Ouzo, perhaps. And also this bottle of Arak, which I don't remember where that comes from. I think it was somewhere in the maybe Middle Eastern or Mediterranean area. It could also just be Europe in general. I don't really know. But both of those were very anisey, very fennelly, almost licorice-like. And I can get a note for that. And when I was doing a little bit of research, asking some of my mixology friends about it, evidently that is often either just drank on its own with ice or just totally neat, either cool or warm. But also they combine it with lemonade. So that combo of fennel, anise, or licorice and lemon or lemon zest is evidently a combo that exists out there in the world already as a well-established like combination there. So the fact that this does have a little bit of that fennel or anise note to it totally makes sense in the context of, you know, let's say ouzo plus lemonade. What are your thoughts on the Sophia?
I mean, I did say it is a little sweeter than the Pellini.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I missed the fennelly aspect of either of them, but then again, I wasn't like looking closely.
Yeah, I'd say like it's very subtle. I would say it's more fennelly in the sense that it reminds me of that kind of like airiness that you get from certain other things. Like for example, like a citronella candle or like citronella flavored things have a sort of airiness to it. Mint has an airiness to it. Mint is kind of mentholy, although this is not really mentholy, but even lemon zest itself has that like dimension of the air. I don't know what other way to describe that as. But as opposed to, let's say, a lime, on the other hand, is not as, say, air forward, for instance. I think lemons are less bitter. There's got a sweetness there. I think limes are a bit more bitter. But then again, I don't have a lime in front of me right now. I haven't had limes for like 2 weeks now. Stream just hasn't called for them. Overall, I think this is nice. I would say that I actually prefer... I really want to say that I prefer this one because of that extra flavor component to it. But like, that just might just be my current fancy. And like, maybe, for example, it's not actually my favorite. I don't really know. I haven't quite determined whether or not I like licorice or not. I think it's a nice dimension to things. But I can certainly taste that here. It's also possible too, I'll also be honest, certain sweeteners taste like licorice to me. Like stevia, monk fruit, or sucralose, acesulfame, those artificial sweeteners kind of taste like licorice to me. So it's possible what I'm interpreting as fennel or licorice could taste like something else to somebody else. Maybe just like an extra air of sweetness there. Because like, we don't really know exactly what's in this, so could just be one of those ones. Perhaps the Sfusato Amalfitano lemons, which are carefully hand-picked. Maybe they have that sort of sweetness to them. I'm not so sure. All right, that sounds good.
So in closing, if you like a more like full-bodied, like not as sweet flavor, definitely invest in the Pellini. But if you're okay with a sweeter cocktail, or you're on a budget, Sophia's will work just fine. Yeah,
and I would say too, like, I guess based off of only my very, very limited experience thus far with kind of exploring the world of anise and ouzo in Iraq, I feel like I'm inclined to say, again, not the authority on this, but I'll say it out there anyway, if you're looking for a more, I guess, classic kind of European or kind of like Eastern Hemisphere, I think that's the Eastern Hemisphere of the Earth. I don't know.
No.
Other side of the ocean.
No, that's still...
northern?
Wait.
I don't know geography very well.
Fudge, which side of the prime meridian? I don't have my
I would want to say that this feels very, I guess for lack of a better term, old world limoncello versus new world, which is a little more sweet. I just associate an American diet with things that are a lot sweeter. And I would think that this one is more sweet, less licoricey, because I don't really know anybody who likes licorice except for like me. So I'm okay with this. But on the other hand, I would say that's a little more new world. It's a little more old world. Again, I'm not the authority.
Yeah, because that one was like over 100 years in the making. Sophia's was established in 1951.
That's true. Yeah, because the Pellini was made in 1875. So yeah, that's over 100 years of experience. And then what was Sophia again? It was 19 something.
1951.
1951. So
I only saw it on the cap.
Let's say a more let's say classic rendition versus a more modern one, more contemporary. I think that's good. Anyway, that was a little fun test stream that we were doing here on YouTube. Just a very, very small thing. I've never done this before, so appreciate everybody exploring with us. I've apparently never switched the angles here before, so I don't know if this is going to break or not, but I'm going to try it anyway by going to the end screen, and everything is completely messed up. Oh! I know why the cocktail angle isn't working. I know why it's not working. I think it changed the resolution of the stream. Interestingly enough, like, we're still taking up the entire screen, and I think it's because the capture box is only capable of 1K. Anyways, this is our ending screen, as it would work, but it's not working, so it's fine. So we'll just say goodbye here.
Bye, so long. Have a good evening, or
Indeed.
morning, or whatever time of day it is.
As the usual spiel goes, I don't know what time zone you're living in, so I don't know if the sun is shining and the moon is. Whether you're keeping your drinks in or pouring them everywhere because of how sloshed you are, it matters not to us.
Hey, I wasn't accounting for how much was in that glass. I'm sorry.
Evidently, the chunky chef should have prepared us a little better for that, but I'll take it. To everybody out there, thanks for joining us. Even if it was just a couple of us, it was very fun at the very least. And we got to test things out and break a couple things, so that's always good too. To everyone out there, thanks for joining us. And if you're into this kind of stuff and you did pop around, we usually broadcast this stuff over on Twitch, so that's going to be our plug there. YouTube is in the workings. We'll get there eventually. All right, to everyone, so long. Bye.